Everyone, I'm Parmila and welcome you all to P24 News Media channel. The Victorian Liberals hosted a key media conference bringing together senior party members and multicultural media representatives. The press event featured Deputy Leader of the Opposition and Shadow Minister for Trade and Investment David Southwick alongside Deputy Leader of the Opposition in the Legislative Council Ivan Mulholland and the Leader of the Opposition in the Legislative Council Georgie Crozier. Also attending was Leader of the Opposition and Shadow Minister for Multicultural Affairs, John Pasudo. Let's have a look at this conference.
Help the people that have come here to work together. They're the conversations that we need to have. And if we're having festivals, don't just have a Jewish Hanukkah festival, have a Diwali festival and something with the Chinese community, and bring the communities together so we can learn off one another. So there are opportunities with the multicultural communities as well. The last thing that I wanted to say, particularly in some of the economic areas, and I know there's been issues with things like gas, and the government are looking at the kinds of policies that are pretty short-sighted economically in terms of things like cutting off gas, but also doesn't help many of our communities that are so used to having that in terms of cooking with gas, being able to use gas in their homes. They're real issues that the government haven't consulted on and haven't worked on, particularly within our multicultural communities. Things like housing, affordability. Another area of my portfolio, a portfolio area which is important, I know, to every single community, is cost of living. We saw that in the US. It's not isolated here to Australia. We saw that with the US election just gone, with cost of living being such an important area. We're seeing it federally, but there are a lot of levers that the government can do here in Victoria. The cost of a Myki ticket 10 years ago was up 30-40%. The cost of car registration up 50-60%. The cost of food, the cost of transport, energy, water, they're all...
They can also contact John and they can tell us what the issues are that you need us to advocate for, and if they are state issues we will certainly go into bat for them, and sometimes even in our speeches we can drop some of the federal issue that underpins issues that are impacting the state. So that it just depends on what the issue is, but certainly with our own communities and in my area I'm very, very happy, and all of us would be if we have any new Ukrainian people, we will listen to them and we're happy to fight for them.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Lakshmi.
I just wanted to jump off the back of that question and ask, what about, I guess, the social cohesion of the Lincoln community, particularly with what's happening in Canada at the moment?
Yeah, so I might start that off and then others might want to, or do you want to start that off?
No, you can start it off.
I was going to say at a general level, I think the most important thing that we can do at a state level is bring local community leaders and others who want to be a part of that conversation to try to mediate those differences so they don't erupt on the streets. We understand that there's a very strong connection between all of us who've come here and
heavy taxes, you are again and again talking about economical conditions of Australia. So do you think when, come to your party after next or coming elections or after the elections, do you make any changes to all these taxes things and the rebate and whatever the economical conditions? You will make some better conditions rather than now?
Oh, you bet we will. We will. And I'll let Dave and Georgie echo this. I'll just say very briefly, we will and have outlined broadly how we will get debt under control. We will get taxes down over time. I have to be upfront with you, we can't do it in 24 hours. Our debt is so big under Labor, it will be well over $200 billion by the time of the next election. We will stabilise that debt and get it down, but there will be a story of hope for the Victorian people that we can get those taxes down, we can get the debt stabilised and then down and start reinvesting in the front line and other services. David and Georgia.
So please.
Yeah, so do you think this is a Trump effect?
John, welcome to P24 News Media channel. Just for my audience, can you tell us something? What was the motive behind this press conference actually?
Well, multiculturalism in Victoria is a very strong part of our fabric here in this great state, and of Australia too, it must be said. So for me personally, not only to be Liberal leader, but also to keep the portfolio of multicultural affairs, I understand how important it is, and it's not just a portfolio that sits out to the side. Multicultural affairs runs through everything, because most Australians were either born here or came here and have an international heritage and an ethnic background. So we want to make sure that all of that feeds through all areas of policy, and the multicultural community and the leaders, not only in media, multicultural media, but in the community more broadly, need to be heard.
For Indian nationality, what do you think, how they influencing this Australian culture? Or their contribution?
Oh, it's huge. You can't put a number on how massive the influence of the Indian diaspora and Indian culture is in Victoria and Melbourne in particular. You can't understand Australia today without understanding the big and massive influence and positive influence of the Indian diaspora. So I've just come off, like we all have, the back of a number of Diwali ceremonies, and I'm always very quick to point out that ancient festivals like Diwali are now part of Australia.
Exactly.
They're part of our culture.
Of course. So recently council elections also done. So there were some Indian candidates. A few of them won these elections. So after this council elections, what is your prediction for your main elections?
Well, we're working hard to change the government because we believe that the Allan Labor government has run its course. It's time for change.
Yep.
It really is. People are paying the price for the mismanagement, the debt, the taxes, the blowouts. We're going to offer that, and we've got a party that feels strongly about the need to make sure that people in our community can see themselves in the members who are returned to Parliament. So we're looking, and I in particular am looking for a strong multicultural contingent to be a part of my broader team. People who've come here and worked hard and earned the trust and confidence of their peers to be elected to the Parliament. Nothing would make me happier than to have a culturally diverse party room for the Liberal Party and the Nationals, and that's what I'm working towards.
So that's my best wishes for your future, John, and hopefully we will meet another press conference, and hopefully your other campaigns, whatever you will done for this nation. So for our side, best wishes, and thank you for talking to us.
It's always a pleasure, anytime, Pamela.
Thank you. Thank
Pleasure.
you. Hello everyone, welcome to P24 News Media channel, and today we have Georgie from Liberal Party. What is the main motive you think behind this press conference?
Well, Pamela, we want to speak to as many people as we can. The Liberals are very concerned about what is happening here in Victoria, and so we speak to media outlets all the time. So we wanted to bring as many of the multicultural media into the Parliament to have this discussion with us, and we're delighted that you're being able to attend. Well, the immigration issues are largely a federal issue. They're not state-based issues, and so what we want to do is ensure that everybody, all Victorians, Indians, and new immigrants to Victoria can have the opportunities that so many others have got. So that means you need a strong economy, and we're really worried about the level of debt in Victoria and what that will mean for people coming to Victoria, such as your community or your friends and relatives from India, coming to Victoria to have housing, to have access to good health care, to have choice in education, and to be able to find employment opportunities. That they're all the issues that we're really concerned about, and that's why we're saying you've got to have a strong economy. You can't have increasing debt and taxing hard-working Victorians, whoever they are, like this current Labor government is doing.
Indian contributions to the economy, Australian economy?
Oh, huge. In every sector I see just extraordinary, whether it's in my area of health, the incredible contributions that Indians make in the health system, whether that's from medicine to allied health practitioners to nurses to everybody working through the health system, to the gig economy, but small business as well. It goes right across the economic spectrum, and that's what we want. We want people to have that opportunity to be able to thrive in the areas that they want to work in.
Thanks, Georgie. That's all from my side. I'm very thankful to you that you answered my all questions. From my channel, it's best wishes for your future.
Thank you so much, and lovely to be with you. Happy to speak again.
Thank you. Thank you. All the best. Thanks. Stay connected with the country and the world, and keep watching P24 News Media channel. Your voice, your nation.